author of a new book that's coming out this fall called Independent. It's coming out on October 21st, so please do grab it. And the reason I wrote this book, coming out of the White House, you know, serving as White House press secretary was an honor and a privilege. But since I have left, the people that come up to me, strangers that come up to me just across the country as I'm traveling, and sometimes right in my neighborhood, at a grocery store, supermarket, airport, my daughter's school, the number one question they ask me is, Karine, how do we get out of this?
That isn't the number one question they ask you. And, oh, by the way, a grocery store and a supermarket, pretty much the same thing. Tony Katz, 93, WIBC. Good morning, you fraud of a human being. There is not a single person who worked in the Biden administration or who covered the administration in the mainstream media who has an ounce of shame. None. They hate you, and they don't care. They support themselves. They rally around each other, and they will continue to do this until we quite literally financially starve them out. They're going to have to go get real jobs. Karine Jean-Pierre was the press secretary for Joe Biden. And Karine Jean-Pierre, very obviously, and people refuse to accept this reality, was hired after Jen Psaki for the color of her skin and her sexuality. It was not for her skill set. She's black and she's gay. She was not hired for skill because she has none. This is accepted as fact across the spectrum. There's a story that she reached out after being done as press secretary and lying to America about Joe Biden's mental situation for years. Remember, she's the one who told us it was cheap fakes. She lied. She knew she was lying. She didn't care. She hates you. After she was out of a job, she reached out to The View to try and get on The View. They never called her back. That's the story. And so now she's got a book called Independent. She's left the Democratic Party, and now she's an independent, and she's trying to fix what's broken in America and talking about a broken White House. Somebody said if she was willing to be a little tongue-in-cheek and be really on the nose, the book would be in the shape of a binder. That's a very deep cut. That's very, very funny. I wish I had come up with that one. So bravo to whoever said that. I want it on the record, to the extent that me being on the record on this subject matters at all, that Karine Jean-Pierre is a liar and a fraud. She's a disgusting woman, and no one should ever want their daughters to be like Karine Jean-Pierre. I would show my daughters video of Karine Jean-Pierre, the attitude of Karine Jean-Pierre, the lies of Karine Jean-Pierre, and say, never, ever be like this. This is everything that would be a shame, not to me and not to your mother, but to your own soul. This fraud of a human being who now has the audacity, after lying to us for years, and we knew she was lying, but she kept doing it, now wants to profit. Just like Jake Tapper, no shame, no decency. Jake Tapper's book, it could be argued, will at least have some things in there where you're like, wow, I didn't know it was that bad. Or I knew it was that bad, but here's proof how it's bad. What could she possibly bring? What would you possibly believe? What would you believe? I think this should be filed under fiction. She's not independent. She is totally willing to sell herself, though, to the highest bidder, which she has now done. And she believes that you will absolutely engage her grift. She certainly believes that black women and lesbians will engage her grift and buy her book. Don't you dare. She lied to you, too. It isn't excused because, well, we have this in common. No, it's not. I never once excused Bernie Madoff. Just because they may have an attribute like yours doesn't make them like you. And when it comes to Karine Jean-Pierre, they not like us. She's disgusting. If you want to talk about how low someone can go, you start and end with Karine Jean-Pierre. Not independent. No. Insulting. Much better. Matt Bear has got